I'm Diana Steele, and I'm here at Fresh Street Market in West Vancouver. And today I wanted to talk about that release that came out from the World Health Organization on the risk of cancer with processed meats and red meats. I think there's still some confusion out there as to how much of a risk there actually is, and is it as dangerous as smoking or asbestos, because it was put into the same category. So processed meats were classified as those that were, hot dogs, anything that's been cured or fermented or flavored for adding flavor and preservation. Smoked, so that would include hot dogs, beef jerky, things like pepperoni sticks, even if they're turkey pepperoni sticks, as well as your regular bacon, ham, turkey breast that you have as a deli meat. All of those things were classified as processed meats. And the statement said that they are now considered a Class 1A carcinogen, which is the same category as tobacco and asbestos. What the statement was that if you consume 50 grams of processed deli meats every day, your risk for colon cancer will increase by 18%. But what that's saying is not that you have an 18% risk of colon cancer. It means that if your original risk was 5%, that 5% will increase by 18% to now a 6% risk in total. So that relative risk is the increase that you're having. But comparing that to your increased risk if you smoke, for example, and your risk for lung cancer, that is a 2,500% increased risk if you smoke. So smoking obviously is a much greater risk than consuming deli meats. So what the overall message is to look at the fact that yes, there is strong evidence suggesting that deli meats are a carcinogen and that we should reduce our consumption, so not having 50 grams a day every day of our lives. So have a look at how much you're actually consuming and see if there's ways to reduce it. So in your breakfast sandwiches, for example, rather than having bacon or sausages, try to have just the egg and maybe a slice of cheese and some spinach and tomatoes. Or if you're having a sandwich every day for lunch, rather than having turkey or ham, consider having leftover chicken breast that you cooked the night before, or turkey breast, or leftovers from Thanksgiving dinner or Christmas dinner, and put that in your sandwich. Or even having a hummus sandwich, so more vegetarian-based, egg salad sandwich, tuna, salmon, all of those would be great fillings. So really reducing the amount of processed deli meats, or getting rid of them if you can, would be a really great idea. And then the other risk was around red meat consumption, and it classified that as a grade 2 risk for as a carcinogen, which means that there is evidence linking your increased risk for cancer, but most of the studies were done on animals, not on humans, so animal experimental studies. But there is still a risk, and so they're saying you should also reduce your consumption of red meat, and in particular, watch the way you're processing it or cooking it. So if you tend to barbecue your steaks and things, you don't want to be charring them or cooking at a really high temperature. That frying and charring of your meat in a frying pan increases the amount of these carcinogenic compounds that are in your red meat. So trying to do braising and roasting and stewing of your red meat when you're cooking them more often, and then reducing your consumption to one serving or smaller portions, the size of a deck of cards, once or twice a week, and that's really a reasonable amount. Red meat still has lots of iron in it, so it's not like it's all bad. If you're a red meat eater, just watch how often you have it. Maybe choose to have a salmon burger instead of a beef burger sometimes. So hopefully that clarifies a little bit for you.
Thank you, Diana. By the way, if you have any nutrition questions, you can contact Diana. Here's a couple of ways of doing that. 604-739-3290. Eatingforenergy.com is her website, and on Twitter she is @eatingforenergy.